Hello, everybody, and welcome to the podcast. This is the second episode of the newly only podcast thing that I'm doing. And it may sound a little different than the first episode because today it's not just me in the booth. Today I am joined by...
Hi, it's CAMMIE.
Hi, it's CAMMIE. If you've listened to my videos before, any of my other stuff, my old channel, new channel, what have you, CAMMIE has joined me several times. She is my fiancée.
Yes.
I don't know if she's been my fiancée since we've recorded. Like, she used to be my girlfriend, now fiancée, because, you know, proposal. I don't know if we've recorded since you've gotten the ring together.
I don't think we have either.
Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, so we're going to do the same thing that I do, which is reading the Am I the Assholes or whatever on this here podcast, but to go do it together. And people seem to like it better when we do it together because CAMMIE provides her wonderful insights.
I do.
Yeah, sometimes I miss things, and she's like, here's another point. And I'm like, that's a good point. Also, people say that we're funny together with our banter or whatever. Right?
Right.
Okay, we're also joined by Papa Kitty Smoosh Poof. She is the baby kitty. She is my baby. She's Poof. She's not really a baby. She's old. But she is in here with us, and so if you hear a scream, it's not me. It's not CAMMIE. It's the Poof, because sometimes she doesn't like to be in a room with a closed door. Other times, she's like, I want to be part of it. So, we'll see how this goes. Anyway, let's see who's the asshole today, huh?
Yep, let's see.
Alrighty, so just like before, this is just me, well, what was me is now us, reading Reddit stories, Am I the A-hole, and discussing as we go and what have you. Let's see. Am I the asshole for telling my ex-girlfriend she isn't special and he will do it to her too? Oh.
Yikes.
Oh, that sounds messy. Why are you talking to her at all? That's my initial question
that's a
here.
good point.
Like, why are you two talking at all? Like, she reached out to you. Did you reach out to her to, like, jam him up because he's bad? Or did she reach out to you because he's doing shit and she's looking for, like, validation or whatever? I'm interested to see.
Me too.
Let's see. I, 30 female, was only married to my ex-husband, 32 male, for 2 years. We've been together for longer than that. Mm-hmm. We were together for longer than that before I proposed. You all are jumping into shit too quick. I always feel like with a lot of these things, y'all jump into shit too quick. 2 years? You only married for how long were you together before that? Yeah, we did it for a little over a year before we married. Okay. So, okay. She said we dated it for a little over a year before we married. So, a year of dating, and then they got engaged, married for 2 years. So, 3 years total. That's how long we've been together.
Yeah, that's how long we've been together.
Roundabouts.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
a year on the 8th, or 3 years on the 8th.
Well, it's past the 8th, so yeah, we're holy shit. But yeah, so like, I don't know. People are different. Things can work, but our dynamic works. So do what we tell you to do. Right. All right. When we were dating, everything was fine. He had a lower libido than me, but I was fine with how often he wanted to have sex, about 2 to 3 times a week. Damn.
All right.
That's lower libido? That sounds about average. Like, that sounds a bit... I mean, if you don't know this already, I am asexual, right? So, me and Cammie's sex life is healthy for us, but some of you sex-obsessed people out there will be like, oh my god, that's not enough! But we're fine.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, Teresa, if you're listening, Mom, if you're listening, not sorry, it's me. This is me. Okay, they know who they raised. Our mothers know who they raised.
They do, yeah.
Okay, once we got married, that gradually went to maybe twice a month, and then nada. Ooh, damn. That's not a lot even for us.
Nope.
Maybe twice a month, that's...
And then nada.
And then nada. Damn. I'm asexual and I don't do nada. So, like, I don't... Good Lord. All right. The last time he and I had sex was my birthday. My birthday is April 24th, so almost a year now. So, okay, yeah, this is supposed to 4 hours ago, so this is up to date. So, it's been almost an entire year since they have had sex.
Okay.
Okay. I asked to see a doctor. I asked him... why'd you ask to see a doctor? I asked him if there was anything I could do. I tried everything I could think of. He wasn't on a med. He just wasn't interested in sex. You went to a doctor because your boyfriend didn't want to have sex with you?
She asked him to see a doctor.
Asked him to see a doctor. See, this is why Cammie's in here, because sometimes I misread things. I asked him to see a doctor. You asked him to see, like, if the reason you don't want to have sex was because
it's a medical
thing? Nope. Maybe you're just not attractive.
Golly.
I ended up, or maybe he's an asshole, I don't know. I ended up starting the divorce because I'm not living the rest of my life like this. When I started the divorce, his ex-wife asked to meet with me, and she said she hadn't wanted to get involved earlier because she didn't know if I was asexual as well, but that he had done the same thing to her and the girlfriend before her.
Okay, so
he's asexual then?
Right.
Okay. So are we vilifying bro for being asexual? I mean, I suppose if he's not being upfront about that, if he's going into the relationship acting like he's interested in sex, and then later on dropping on them that they're not, that is toxic on his part.
Right.
Because if you're asexual, you need to let people know that.
Right.
So they know what they're getting into. And then if they agree, and then later on decide it's not good enough, then that's on them. Right? So, I guess we'll see.
I feel like a year is a really long time.
It is. A year is a long time. So I don't...
we have a compromise.
Yeah. Like we make it work, but like it's just like and I was very upfront about that, like from the beginning.
Right.
Like I'm not hyper interested in sex at all.
Right.
And so I mean, to be fair, neither are you.
Yeah. Well, that's fair.
But like you're more than me. But still, we make it work, right? And that's because of the love, right?
Yeah.
All right. We're still working on the divorce. Thankfully, it is a fairly easy process since we weren't married long and none of our assets were merged, bank accounts, property, etc. We also do not have any children together. Yeah, that makes it easier. Anyway, he is now.
If you guys aren't having sex, that makes sense. You know, kids do.
That's an excellent point. Anyway, he is now dating a woman named Amy, 24. Ooh, a younger woman. He's dating a younger woman.
No.
That's almost a 10-year gap between him and her.
Yeah, but
that's 8 years.
Hold on. How long? When did she start the divorce?
I don't know. So she said they're still in the process of working on the divorce. So they're in the process of divorcing, and he's with someone else.
Yep.
I don't know about that. Amy has shown up to every divorce hearing lately. Oh my God. And acts smug about it like she's winning some sort of prize.
Damn.
Oh, Amy. Low class, Amy. Amy, we don't like that, Amy. She has told me he has sex with her all the time and I just wasn't meeting his needs. Oh. Spicy. Amy. Do better, Amy. Mm-hmm. Like, showing up to the divorce proceedings all like, my man. Bitch, that's not your man. He's still married. Like, I don't care if they're getting divorced. They're not divorced yet, so she's still married. So that's not your man, not legally. So I think you need to calm down a little bit, Amy. You're the other woman, Amy. I ended up telling her that he did the exact same thing to me. He did it to his other ex-wife, and he did it to the girlfriend before her. She isn't special, and give it a few months, he won't continue this. He is asexual. He's just trying to lock her in before he goes cold on her. Yeah, see, that's the thing, too. Like I said, if he's asexual and he's pretending like he's not in the early stages of a relationship to, like, lock them in, like she said, and then all of a sudden stopping, that's toxic. That's toxic. As an asexual person, that's toxic. You gotta be upfront about that shit with people, right? You can find somebody who either is also asexual or is cool with that.
Right.
But like pretending like you're into it to lock them in, and then knowing that they expect that, and then going into the marriage and being like, well, now that we're married, never again. Awful, bro.
If that's what he's doing.
If that's what he's doing, right?
Or if that's what she feels like he's doing.
Right. But maybe, who knows? Maybe he was upfront and she's leaving that out. We don't know, right? She looked shocked and just said she has doubts. She looked shocked and just said she doubts that, then left. Later, my ex called and was pissed. He said she is thinking about leaving after what I said and has gotten in contact with some of his exes. Ooh, the girls are comparing notes.
They are comparing notes.
Let me tell you something. If it's happened to multiple women, it is him.
It is him.
Yeah, if it was just this girl being like this, that, I might be like, okay, two sides, right? Mm-hmm. But if it's multiple, now 3, now possibly 4 women, all with the same story, this is a pattern of behavior for bro. Mm-hmm. Also, having 2 ex-wives before you're 30, well, I mean, he's 32 now. Having 2 ex-wives by the time you're like, before you're 35 is wild. Mm-hmm. What are you, Ross? From Friends? Like, what are we doing here?
3 divorces.
Pivot! 3 divorces! 3 divorces! Pivot! Okay. I don't really feel sorry for him because it's underhanded and asshole-ish to do that to people, but I do kind of feel bad for ruining his relationship. I told him he should stop doing this and find someone who's also asexual or he will never be happy in a relationship. I have an opinion on that. We'll get back to that in a second. I'm not sure if I was an a-hole for telling her, but I feel like she should know he is doing the same thing to her he did to us, and I wish someone would have told me before I married him. I wasn't super nice about it because she pissed me off, but I still felt like she should know she wasn't the special one that would fix him. Okay. So, as to whether or not you're the asshole,
she acted a little on emotion.
She did a little bit, and then, yeah, I mean, she acted a little on emotion, and she said she was kind of asshole-ish to the girl. To be fair, though, Amy was, like, shoving her existence in her face.
Right.
And, like, looking for a problem, it seemed. So her response is, warranted, I would think.
If she respected that other girl at all, she would have given that space.
Yeah, like Amy, yeah, she was like shoving her, like, their new relationship in her face at every divorce proceeding, like, all over the place. Like, Amy was being as much of a problem as she could.
Yep.
So she kind of brought that on herself. So I don't think this person's, I think they reciprocated in kind to what Amy was doing to them.
Yep.
Right? And now let's go back to what I said. I told him he should stop doing this and find someone who's asexual or he'll never be in a happy relationship. Now, that is incorrect. Because me and Cammie, right now, we are in a situation where one of us is asexual and one of us is not. And it works great.
It does.
So, like, and that's because while I am never really interested in sex, right, I could go the rest of our lives without having sex ever again and be perfectly happy. And like I said, mind you, she's not, Cammie is not, you're not hypersexual either.
I'm not, though.
Yeah, right, you're not. But still more than I do and still do want more than I do.
Yep.
And so, but the thing is, like, I don't want to say willing. That's not like not willing. Like I am happy to have sex, when we do, because I care about her and I care about our relationship, and I know that sometimes, like, Piper. See, that's what I'm talking about. If you heard the ow, that's her. She wants out now. Like, what are you? You're not even by the door. Whatever. But yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Is like.
We make it work.
We make it work, exactly. Like it's. I am more than willing and happy to engage in that when she wants to, because not because I'm like raring to go or whatever, just because like I love her and I want her to be happy, and that makes me want to make her happy, and then I get into it too, and it's a whole thing, right? And so like it can definitely work if you really love the person and you really want to be there for them. Right? And so, and I said it also helps that you're not, like, hypersexual either. Because if you wanted to do it, like, all the time, I'd be like, okay, I can't, though.
Right.
So, like, it's like we do it as often as we damn well want to.
Exactly.
And so that's the point, too. Is, like, there's no expectation or pressure on it. It's just, when we want to, we do. And neither one of us is like, it has to, or it can't, or whatever. It's just, it happens when it happens, right? And so, like... And, like, normally, don't worry, normally I don't talk as much about me and Cammie's sex life on this podcast, but this pertains to the story.
The sex.
So, I mean, it's part of it. As somebody who is asexual and with somebody who is not, this is a unique situation in which we talk about it.
To be fair, though, we have a super different relationship than what I've seen.
Yeah?
Like, our relationship is healthy outside of our sex life, too.
Right.
So... I think that would also help. You just have to have a really healthy relationship.
Yes.
That's it. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean,
like...
no, yeah, right, that makes sense. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, it's like, what she's saying is, like, too often in relationships, people put so much focus on sex, on the sex part. It's like, sex is like a tent pole of the relationship, and if you don't have the sex, nothing else works.
Right.
And, like, I feel like when you put so much emphasis on sex, like, obviously sex is part of an adult relationship. It is. That's what separates you from being just friends or whatever, in a sense. But the fact that in so... excuse me. in so many relationships, it is, like, the thing, right? Sex is the most important thing in in their relationship in their life, and they're not having it, everything else destroyed. And oftentimes you see those relationships just die and fizzle out because, you know, sex is gonna like take a decline generally as you get older and you get more in a relationship. It's not gonna be around as much. And so the fact that your entire relationship hinges on that means that it has a shelf life. Because if you got to really analyze how much you like each other outside of that, right, in order to have a successful relationship. That's what me and CAMMIE have done, right? You have something to say?
Yes. I was gonna say too that we also, I think that disregarding sex as being important is also a problem.
Right.
So highlighting everything else that's important in a relationship as more important than sex is also a problem. Because what works for us is everything of our relationships is important. The same kind of importance.
Yes.
The personal time together. We have 1 date a week. Like, we have our alone time. We have whatever we need to do. Every single box of our relationship is checked off on the same level of importance as everything else.
Right. That's exactly right. Yeah, like that's yeah. Like you hit it right on the head. It's like it's no part of our relationship takes a backseat to anything else. Sex isn't at the forefront of anything. Neither is, you know, the trust, the communication, the this, the that, the whatever. It's all important. It's all important. It's all seen as it has its own value, and we value it all the same, and that's why it works. And so it's like so often people and not to say that we're perfect, right? And not to say that like neither of us has any trauma, because we'd be so boring if we had. This podcast wouldn't be entertaining at all if I had no trauma. Like, come on now. We all know that. You ever met somebody without trauma? They're so fucking boring. They're not funny at all. Like it's, but like no, that's the point. Is like we have our issues and but see that's part of it too. That's also part of the healthy relationship is you talk about those things. Is you talk about, when you do have the issues, you discuss them instead of pretending they don't exist or just pulling back or saying, throwing your hands up and giving up or whatever. You just, and that's not to say, like, people oftentimes like to say, you gotta fight for your relationship. That doesn't mean, as I've said before, and we've said before, that doesn't mean fight each other. Okay? That means fight against whatever it is that's coming into your relationship and fight it together. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's, you know, somebody's feeling like maybe the communication isn't there, or somebody's feeling like maybe trust was broken in some way, or somebody's feeling like they're not being heard, or this or that. You discuss those things, and you discuss them like adults, okay? You don't yell and scream at each other. You don't call each other names. You don't belittle each other. It's never an attack. You just talk about it like grown-ups and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of y'all think an argument, a fight, has to be knocked down, drag out, you're yelling and screaming at each other, saying horrible shit. Like...
And that's love.
Yeah, and that's love, right? Because you're fighting for your relationship. Don't fight, okay? Discuss. Talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe maybe the volume can get elevated to an extent, but don't attack each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't insult each other. And so that was kind of a tangent, but bring it back to the point of this whole thing is this lady the asshole? Not really. I mean, like... I think bro might be the asshole, because it seems like he is asexual, but not telling people he is, pretending he's not, locking these girls in, and then all of a sudden rescinding the sex, just like not giving it at all. I mean, because now they're married, so now he just feels like he doesn't have to or whatever, and that's not okay. You can't do that. And so, I mean, I'm pretty much done on this story. Do you have anything else to say before we get to the special message at the end?
No, I think we're all good. We tangented about our relationship already. I think we should only just put them through one tangent.
See, this is why it's good that she's here. She knows when to say we should stop. Piper, you got some stuff to say, clearly. I don't know if you can hear her. She's back here screaming at us because she wants love and to be out of the room, but not out of the room. She wants the room to the studio to be open. She wants the door to be open so you can come in and out as she pleases. That's not how this works, missus. Okay. Sorry, everybody. We're done. All right, everyone. That was the end of another one. Thank you for listening. Thanks for hanging out on the new podcast journey. How you doing? How was your first official podcast?
It went good. I think that we picked a really good story to talk about.
Yeah, we like to talk about relationshipy stuff a lot of times because obviously we're in a relationship and we do pretty good at it. So we like to talk about it and give our opinions and advice and whatnot. So yeah, I liked it. I think it was good. Yeah. Before we go, y'all know how this works. If you've listened to me before and you've been listening since, you know that at the end of everything I do, I got to put in that special message, everybody. And today's special message is going to be kind of not as long because we've been on a tangent already and like the thing's already 20 minutes something long, so we're going to kind of not be as long. But I think the special message should just be about healthy relationships. So what do you got to say about that kind of stuff?
What I want to say about a healthy relationship is to really go through and prioritize what you guys should think is on that right level, like what we talk about. Because I guess there could be some relationships where someone does prioritize one thing after the other, like more than the other. At the same time, that other person should, I guess, feel that same way.
Yes.
But what works for us, and I mean, I think we're a really great couple, is that we prioritize everything. Everything's at that same level. So maybe that's just the trick. Maybe just make sure every box is checked in your relationship.
Make sure everything's important.
Make sure everything's important.
Make sure everything's important. Make sure you're communicating. I mean, this is a lot of stuff sounds cliche, and I'm sure you've heard your relationship counselor say it a million times. You've heard other podcasters say it a million times. You've heard your mother say it a million times. But like maybe not your mother. Maybe your mother's toxic, you know. But but the thing is, like, yeah, it's really that simple. It really comes down to communication, trust, and just like what?
Honesty.
Honesty.
I guess is part of the trust.
Yeah, part of the trust. Yeah, honesty. It's like being honest about your expectations and what you need from the other person. And like too often times when people hear communication, they think communicate and just talking to each other. That's not what I'm talking about with them talking about communication. Because yes, talk to each other. Obviously, you know, you have your whatever. But like communication, true proper communication, is being honest with your partner about what you want and what you expect, and them being allowed to be honest with you about what they want and what they expect. And nobody gets attacked for that. Nobody gets talked down to for that. Nobody gets made to feel bad or weird about those things. And you guys just have honest discussions about this stuff and come to a common ground on things.
Right.
Like it's not that crazy. And as far as the trust thing goes, it's actually pretty simple. Don't fucking cheat on each other.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple, right? Don't fuck other people.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a concept, right?
And we talked about this before too on what our definitions of cheating are.
Right, that's something too in the relationship is define what you believe cheating to be. What your definition, because a lot of times, obviously the stuff like having sex with other people, right?
Is cheating.
Yeah, kissing other people, whatever. Like flirty texting to other people. I would think is pretty universally considered cheating, right? Yeah. But obviously, then once you get past that, there's kind of like the minutia and like what people consider cheating. Some people consider liking pictures on social media to be cheating, right? Yeah, exactly. Some people consider that to be cheating. Some people consider, some people are crazy and consider just talking to the other gender to be cheating, and those people need to chill the fuck out. But like, it's yeah. So it is important in your relationship to define what you believe cheating to be. Some people have different boundaries than others. Some people Some people in there's open relationships don't even think having sex with other people is cheating. And you know what? As long as you agree to that mutually and everybody's happy in that, like,
good for you.
Do your thing, right? Yeah. Like we ain't gonna judge you. Do your thing. I don't think that open relationships can really work in the long term. Because I think somebody's going to get jealous eventually. Oh, yeah. But that's an opinion, and I'm not here to be like, oh, it's wrong. Like, it's whatever. Do your thing, right? Hi, Piper. I know. Yeah, we'll open the door in a second. Okay, you've been doing good.
And this may be, I was going to go back to on how we're not perfect, too.
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
This is going to be a shock to everyone who knows us, but we fight.
Shock horror!
I know.
What?
We have arguments. We just don't go and tell everybody about them.
Yeah, that's another thing. We don't bring the entire community into our relationship.
Yeah.
And that's something too that a lot of people do is like, so oftentimes you argue with your partner or whatever and you have disagreements and then you go run off to your corners and talk to your friends about it and ask their opinions and then they get into your head and start creating issues.
Right.
And mind you, I don't really like the word fight. Because we don't fight.
We don't.
We have discussions. We have disagreements. Right? Because when I think of fight, I think of I'm calling you horrible names, you're calling me horrible names, we're yelling and shouting at each other, and we're talking each other down, we're trying to break the other person down or whatever. That's what I think of when I think of fighting.
That's fair.
So, like...
I guess what we mostly have is we have a disagreement where we don't exactly see eye to eye, and it's an important disagreement to where it's like, okay, we need to have a conversation about this right now.
Right.
And come to terms with why... you see something that I'm not seeing, and
right.
I'm seeing something that you're not seeing.
Right, where the disconnect is.
Yep, where the disconnect
is. Where we're losing the plot, in the thing, because we agree on most things.
Right.
And so, that's pretty good for us. But like, there are times when we don't, or we see things, and then we have discussions on things, and we're constantly talking to each other. We're constantly having discussions about world topics and our friends. Yes, friends, if you're listening, we talk about you.
Yeah, we do.
We talk about you. How do you think we have such good advice for you all the time? Because we're constantly talking about you, Calvin. We're talking about you, Callista. We're talking about you and your shitty problems. And how we can help you be less shitty in your lives and your relationships. That's why we're the parent friends, everyone.
Yes.
But you have anything else to say, honey?
I do not, no. And this has gone on for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, 25. Yeah, I said it was going to be short. I lied. It's fine. You don't have to listen to the whole thing. Or do. I don't know. Listen to me. Or don't. Okay, well, that's the end of the special message, everybody. Feel free to reach out if you have questions about how your relationship should go. We will do our best to answer you.
Yes.
At any rate, thanks for listening. Bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.